Hello. So I did a video on my creative journey, and in hopes of inspiring other people to pick up things that they haven't done in years. It's never too late. I'm 53. I hadn't painted in 30 years, drawn in basically 30 years, and so I picked that up. But I also mentioned in one of my videos that I was going to start sculpting again. Now, originally I sculpted back in 2001 and 2. That was after the death of my child, Ethan, my little boy, all the way to the end of the pregnancy, and then he was stillborn. He was almost 12 pounds. I have had gestational diabetes as well as regular, and unfortunately, the complications from that, and there was really no scientific answer. He didn't make it, and I picked up sculpting with polymer clay. I would see oak sculpts, which is one of a kind, and once you put your mark on it and you do it, it's not like like you can do the same piece over and over. So it is one of a kind, and I think that's amazing. And I thought what I had seen various artists doing was outstanding. So I picked it up, and it helped me get through the grief process of losing him. I still had children I was raising, and then I decided to have one more child. She's now 18. And so this year I decided that I was going to continue that journey as well as painting and feed my soul, and also provide beautiful items out into the world, and a piece of my soul. So I started with the polymer clay. Here's a fairy I'm working on. I'm not thrilled with the legs. Right now I have them in bags hanging from the ceiling so they stay pliable, because I'm using the Pro Sculpt clay, and it is polymer, as I said. And here's a mermaid I'm working on. This is a baby this is my first one. I'm most likely not going to continue with this one. I had a lot of issues with the armature poking out of the clay, and so it was a good start. I use a nice X-Acto knife to trim off the clay. I use this to take pieces off the brick, and then, of course, to get it pliable, ready to start working with, you have to knead it a lot. I mean, yeah, it's very stiff right now. I use 22 gauge for the armatures that go, that you put the clay on and you start making the body and the face and whatnot. I use various tools to smooth out the clay, this to cut excess off, these to do like eyes, nose, and mouth. This I use to help get the clay palatable. Another tool that I like to use. And of course, a piece of glass. A nice thick piece of glass is easy to clean. You can clean it afterwards with Windex, or alcohol, whatever you'd like to do to make sure it's nice and clean before you do try to work on them. I don't work on them after I get them on the armature. I leave them hanging here, because that way you're able to keep your hands off it, because your hands unfortunately do have debris on them and particles that can transfer to your clay. I will keep you updated. When these get to the point of I have them posed, I have them more detailed, I have them the way that I would like them to present themselves permanently, I'm going to have to bake them in the oven. It's usually 15-20 minutes at 270. I have to research that a little bit more, because it's, like I said, it's been quite some time. It's been approximately 18 years since I worked with the polymer clay like that. So that's an update on those items. I'm going to go back to my painting and work on the leaves. I think I mentioned that the other day. But again, I'm kind of just, I'm documenting this not only to show you progress of my pieces when they're done, but to inspire other people to pick up if it's music that you create. I'm not a singer. I'm not creative in that genre. If it's painting, writing a book, anything that you can carve a little bit of time out during the day to do that brings you peace and joy. It's very healing. It's not cliche. You really need to do those things for yourself, and it's never too late. If you feel inclined to like do that, pick up a pencil and start sketching. That's how I originally started. I just started sketching again. Did I, for my own piece, have my work areas set up so I didn't have to stop and I didn't have to look for items. I didn't have to, oh, do I have to get this? Do I need to go to the store to get this, to be creative? That is my way of doing it. You may be very different. You may be able to just pick it up and just start and be very successful. Me, I wanted to make sure I had everything in place, so I had no excuses not to start. Again, I will keep up with the progress, and I appreciate everybody looking and enjoying anything that I'm doing. Thank you very much.